Hi, Sam. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. I'm Jordan. I'm the founder and I'm a co-owner of Footy Central, and I go to Huntington University, and I'm a business student and soccer player there.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
and
You're
sorry.
you're still in college?
Yes, I am.
Dang. Wait, where is Huntington University?
So Huntington University is right outside of Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's the
Okay.
second largest city in Indiana, next to Indianapolis. Uh,
Yeah.
So, yeah, you
Wow,
probably would know
awesome.
it.
I've
But
never
yeah,
never
you've
been to
never been.
Indiana. No, honestly, no. Yeah, I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio right now, but wow, I'm so impressed that you're a college student.
Thank you.
And you study business? That's great.
Oh yeah. You could actually you could go right ahead and introduce yourself. I did see in your bio that you're from Pennsylvania. I was born in Philadelphia, so it's awesome to see a fellow. I forget what they call them, Pennsylvanians or
Pennsylvania, yeah,
yeah.
sure. Yeah, so I'm originally from outside of Philadelphia, but then I moved to Central PA for high school, and now I'm in Pittsburgh. But yeah, so I went to, did the whole club soccer thing growing up in Eastern Pennsylvania, and then went to James Madison down in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Um, that was great. And then yeah, when I finished up there, I got drafted to play in the NWSL in 2015.
2015. Yeah.
2015, yeah, it was a while ago. But yeah, so I spent a year with the Boston Breakers, and then 2016 I was with the Portland Thorns, and then from there went overseas, played in Sweden, and then 2 years in Iceland. Yeah, and then retired in 2018. I still play for fun. Was supposed to play like WPSL, which is like one of the amateur summer leagues, but
Right.
that got canceled. But yeah, I still play, and lucky enough, I found the amazing club here in Cleveland. They're a Christian-based club, and we go on like mission trips around the world. So I've done Peru, Mexico, and Rwanda with them, and we just get to
Wow.
play and yeah, and serve and do some really cool stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's super awesome.
Yeah.
Um, Getting this kicked off. So for your youth career, what was club like for you? Um, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was tough. So when I was younger, it's like just kind of on my town team playing up with my sister. She's a year older than me. And then playing ODP and stuff. I don't know if did you do that? Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
played
know that.
Indiana ODP. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's not as much of like a necessity now, but
Right.
when I was club, that was kind of like the thing. So I did all that, and that was stressful. But and then yeah, when I moved to Central PA, it's kind of not a hot market for soccer in the
Right.
slightest. So I had to rejoin a team from the Philadelphia area. So I was driving like 3 hours one way to get to practice, like twice, 3 times a week, just because like I really wanted a scholarship, and it just was not an option in my area. So it was tough, and we were doing all the things like there wasn't ECNL or anything back then. It was just kind of like you would just do like state cup and then like big showcases. So we would like fly to Vegas or Florida, or Texas or California just all the time. Like every holiday we were going somewhere. So it was good. I mean, I got to play with the top talent like in the country the whole time, but it was stressful.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I hear that. And how was transitioning into your college career, like your freshman year? How'd that go?
Oh, it was actually good. So for me, like I definitely knew I wanted to go to a school that I would make a contribution when I was a freshman. So for me, like when I was getting recruited, James Madison had actually made like a Sweet 16 run the year I was recruiting. So I mean that was incredible, and they basically were like, "Yeah, we know we're going to need a left back when you're a freshman. So it's our goal for you to be ready by then." And so the transition for me, it wasn't too tough. Because I kind of expected it. I knew that I was expected to start, and it's nice, I think, when you reach a new level and that the coach already has the confidence in you. I think it's so much easier to like yourself be confident and to show up ready. I actually was going through some some illness problems. I had like a thyroid disease that was undiagnosed, so like the fitness was tough, but I was confident, and I got to kind of step in there and play and make an impact as a freshman. So it was really cool.
Wow, that's awesome. And in general, what would you say playing Division I soccer is like? You know, a lot of athletes growing up dream to play Division I, and only a small percentage of athletes actually make it. So what was your experience like?
Yeah, it's so funny that you say that, because like it's like growing up when you play on like the best club teams and like you're expected to play D1, it almost feels normal to
Right.
do it. And so
Right.
then like now that I'm older, like I'm finally like, that wasn't normal, and like now I'm proud of myself. And that's
Right.
actually one of the things that I kind of try to work on. You know, we'll get to that, but like work on with kids now. I'm like, you need to like recognize how cool this is that you're doing this in the moment. But yeah, it was just really a great experience that I got to do that. And just playing D1, like I think when I was younger and like watching the World Cup and these really like talented women, I didn't necessarily even understand the concept of like Division I, but I knew that I kind of wanted to play at the highest level for as long as I could. So when I, started to finally understand what it meant, it was definitely a goal, and a huge honor too. Like I think I was maybe the only female from my high school to play Division I sport.
Wow.
So yeah, it was cool, and it kind of took over my life, but luckily I had the passion for it.
Wow. And what would you say is the greatest moment you had at JMU?
Oh, okay, it's tied. Can I give you two?
Of course, of course.
Okay, so my freshman year, we won. So my freshman year in the conference playoffs, we were playing Hofstra, a team out of New York, and they had like
Yep.
they had like an 18 game winning streak. Like they were ranked pretty high in the country. Like they were just on fire. And we beat them in the conference championships to go to the tournament. And first round, we beat the Texas Longhorns, Hook 'em or whatever that is. And then the next game we had to play UNC, who like is just the one of the most dominant teams in all of college sports. And it was just like a dream come true. At one point we were tied 1-1 with UNC, which was incredible. Actually, one of my friends, Crystal Dunn, who I grew up playing with, was on that team, and she scored 2 goals on me. But like,
You
it's
played with
cool.
Crystal Dunn?
Yeah, like an ODP.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so I was marking her and she scored 2 goals on me, but like it's okay. But it was just like playing at UNC, like in front of Anson Dorrance, and yeah, against one of my lifelong friends, just amazing. And then the second one actually was my senior year, where so it's kind of like the battle of like who was going to host like the conference playoffs, and we like had to win this game, and I think playoffs, but obviously the games are going to ended up being overtime, on my senior day, and we had to win to have the chance to host, and we got a PK, and my coach let me take it. So yeah. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Sorry. Is it back?
Yeah, it's back. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, hey. Sorry, when did I lose you?
You lost me like a minute ago.
Okay, so I was talking about like my second favorite, or my tied for the other favorite moment.
Yeah.
When I was playing at JMU on our home field, it was my senior year, and we were like kind of fighting to see who got to host the conference playoffs, and we
Right.
had to win, and I think Hofstra had to lose a game for us to host. So it was overtime in this game, 0-0, and we had to win. And we got a penalty kick. This girl like drew a penalty kick, and my coach let me take it on senior day, and I scored. And Hofstra ended up winning too. So we didn't host, but it was my last ever touch on my home field was a goal, and I got to.
So
walk
that was
off.
your sixth. That was your sixth goal.
My what?
Your sixth goal. Didn't you score 6 goals?
Yes.
In your collegiate?
Wow, good job.
Awesome.
Yeah, my 6th goal was my last and final touch on my home field at JMU. So whenever
That's
yeah, whenever I go back,
that
I'm sorry, I can't play on the field because I don't want to. That was my last touch. I'm good.
uh, that's funny. Wow, that's actually awesome though. That is very
Yeah.
awesome. And moving forward into your professional career, what did it feel like to be drafted, and not only just drafted, you were the first player, I believe, from JMU to be drafted to the NWSL? That is
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
what did that feel like? What was going through your mind?
Oh, that was amazing. And I remember I was like in touch with a few coaches before the draft, but like I think that's still kind of one of those things where like you just don't believe it until it happens. And yeah, there was one older girl. So when I was a freshman, there was a senior who got drafted, but it was like the league prior to the NWSL that ended up folding. So yeah, it wasn't like something expected out of my school. Like a mid-major school, it was not expected at all. So like I know I was like in touch with a few of the coaches who said like depending on things like we'll draft you. I think 3 of them said that to me. So like I should have been confident, but it's still like I did not sleep the entire night before. Like even the next morning I'm like, Mom, maybe we should just like watch from the hotel. I was just like so nervous. But yeah, just hearing my name amongst like all these other like super talented girls was just a dream come true. And I took like the rest of that night and just kind of like was just so happy that like everything I'd worked for was recognized. And like the next day I started like getting nervous and like working out really hard, but that night was just really really a dream come true.
Wow, and you were drafted 20th overall. That to me is amazing. Like just to be speaking to you is just amazing. You're
Oh,
drafted 20th overall. That's history right there. You're part of history.
thank
That's
you.
awesome. So you mentioned earlier that you had played in Sweden and Iceland, and obviously you've played in America. So what would you say you enjoyed more, the American soccer culture or the European soccer culture?
um the European culture, like for a few different reasons, but the style of play in Europe is more me. Like I'm more of like a technical defender as opposed to like I'm not super aggressive or like I'm not overly athletic, which I think a lot of like American women's soccer, like we're fast, we're strong, and we very skilled. Those women are very skilled, but that's what we take pride in, I think, as a country. So for me, I just think I fit in better in a European style of play, where it's just like more passing and like more skill and that kind of focus. But to be fair, like playing playing for the Portland Thorns, like we played games in front of 19,000 fans, and like that is so. I think Portland is like the number one city for women's soccer in the entire world. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got to experience the best of all of it, like playing in front of like ridiculous amounts of people, and then playing in Europe where people would come watch and people loved the game. But I don't think anything can really compare to the Portland environment.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And what would you say was the greatest moment of your professional career?
Um, in Iceland, my second year, we won both championships. So we won the league, and then we also won like the Open Cup,
Wow.
which was just really cool because the year before we finished second in the league and maybe like lost in the semifinals of the cup. But like my team was just super talented, and I think we really deserved to be double champion, and we pulled it off. So yeah, that was just and I retired after that. So I think just like ending on a double championship is kind of like you can't really write it better than that.
Oh yeah, you went out strong for sure. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Um, so moving on to your um, professional career, like obviously you have a professional career with soccer, but like business wise, you're a mindset coach, which is awesome. We have this kind of phrase we use. We say instead of entrepreneur, soccerpreneur.
Yeah, I love that.
Uh, and it's pretty cool. What you do is pretty cool. So could you tell me what exactly is a mindset coach?
So for me, I just focus on the mental side of the game. I work with like athletes of kind of all ages, but mostly like my clients are like middle school and high school aged. And what we do is like we talk about the mental side of the game. So like nothing like super crazy. Like we do like goal setting, we talk about confidence, like kind of standard concepts, but the difference is that we meditate on all of it. And like I personally started meditating when I went pro, because I just had so much stress, like taking the step to that next level. And I started like
Right.
experiencing like performance anxiety for the first time. Like, like my confidence was down. Like I was making like mistakes on the ball that I would never make anywhere else, just because I was always second guessing myself because the environment was so like intense. And I happened to find meditation after that first year. And after like a few months, I was a completely different person and could just go play in Portland and have so much peace like when I was playing, and I just like had fun and was confident. So yeah, that's my goal now, to teach that to youth athletes so they don't have to get to the point where they are, stressed and anxious and lack of confidence, and they can have this skill at a young age to help them with sports, but also, off the field as well.
Wow. And when did you realize you wanted to pursue a career as a mindset coach?
It's actually kind of a funny story. It was in 2018. After my season in Iceland, I was traveling with one of my friends, and we went to Bali and met these guys from Germany who love soccer and also love meditation. And I was just like talking with them, and they were like, "Oh, like the German men national team, who like obviously is a powerhouse. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, they hired like a meditation coach. Like you should do that." And I was just like, I've literally never thought of that, but that sounds amazing. And at that point, I wasn't even very open with the fact that I am a meditator. So it was like a little rocky for me, like coming out with that. But yeah, it was literally just an idea from these German guys that I met in Bali, and they're like, "You would be great at that." And then I formed my business about like 6 months later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, so you mentioned that you focus on like younger athletes, but are soccer players your main target?
No, I'll do any sport, but I've only worked with soccer players so far. I mean, that's just where my contacts are and where my references keep coming from. So it has been all soccer so far. Actually, my goal in the next few months is to start to hire other athletes. So, just say I hired you and you wanted like a part-time or a full-time, whatever you wanted to do. I would train you in my business, and I would train you in meditation and everything. And then you could go and use like your name, your face, your contacts, and kind of promote the same thing. So it's kind of my goal to, spread it out and be like kind of like a mentorship. We like, like connect older athletes with younger athletes of like all sports. Because like I can talk about basketball. Like I used to play basketball and softball and track, but I think it would be like way cooler for the kids if it was like a hometown hero or someone who played their sport like in college.
Oh, yeah,
So that's how I would like to spread it to other sports.
that makes a lot of sense. And
Yeah.
would you say you seem like you've had a consistent mindset throughout your entire playing career? Would you say it's always been strong?
Pretty strong. Yeah. I mean, I think when I was younger, I questioned myself and I had some confidence things. But I think my skills kind of got me through it. I think I could have gone farther if I was more confident when I was like a teenager. But I try not to focus on anything like that. And then yeah, throughout college, like that's a good word for it. Like I describe myself as a consistent player. Like I feel like I took pride in showing up like basically every game, and that was a lot of mental, you know, and then it took a massive hit when I first went professionally, and that's when I first noticed like it really affecting my game. But yeah, and then like kind of like how meditation works is it works on kind of attacking like the belief systems we have that are in our subconscious mind, that we might not even be aware of, which is the hard thing. So yeah, just by using meditation, I could kind of, reflect on maybe something a coach said to me when I was like 7 that stuck with me until now, and kind of just like came out when I was under that much pressure, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah, it was really, I would say I was pretty consistent. It could have been better, but like pretty consistent mentally until that next step that was just kind of like a slap in the face, like from both sides. Yeah.
wow. And would you say, since you're like early playing days and your early time in college, that the focus on sports psych in general has evolved, or is it the same?
Oh, that's a good question. So for me, I experienced like the sports psychology, like an ODP a lot. I think we would have it all the time, and we did have access to it in college. And I'm not sure if I was just being stubborn. I probably was, but I wasn't a fan of it, to be completely honest. And um, actually, like during college, at one point I had an 18-month injury, and I had to redshirt. I was out for a long time, and I was going through like this mental battle, and I didn't even turn to a sports psychologist who was right there, like waiting to talk to
Wow.
us. So it's so interesting that this is now the field I'm in. But I do think it's evolving. I've talked to a few people who like kind of do what I do, and it does seem like it's growing, especially like I'm not saying meditation is the only way to do it, but that's obviously like where my knowledge lies. And you see people like LeBron James out there promoting like the Calm app, like doing the meditation and
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, and a
Yeah.
lot of like the big name athletes, like if you name a sport, probably one of the like a top 5 athlete in that sport has talked about how they meditate. So for me, like that's where my knowledge lies. So in that sense, it's definitely evolving, and I'm actually really excited for where it goes over like the next decade.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure we will see a bunch of promotionals of you soon, and they will definitely
Uh,
outdo LeBron
that would be amazing.
James.
We'll
So
see.
now I have a few random and fun questions for you. So what would you say is the funniest soccer moment you've had?
Oh, funniest soccer
I'm sure
moment.
you've had tons, but
Oh, um, wow.
you
Probably.
could
Okay.
toss out a few. It's all right.
Yes, definitely one that comes to mind is like when we won in college. We won like the regular league championship. So we were going to host the
Oh
playoffs
yeah.
and everything. And like my coach, my assistant coach, who's just like kind of reserved and like very to the business, like just got up and started like rapping like Ice Ice Baby, like the entire song. And we're like on the bus on the way home, and we all just like had no idea that he had this in him, and he just like rapped the entire song because he was just so happy. And I think, yeah, I think we laughed about that for like a long time, because it's just like one of those people you would never expect to like ever let their guard down, just rapped the entire song, and it was just a really fun moment. Yeah.
Wow. Um, what's your goal to celebration? I know you only scored 6 goals, but 6 goals as a defender, that's golden. That's
I
golden.
appreciate
That
that.
is golden. So, I mean, do you have a go-to celebration? Is it just running and jumping?
it's
Like, I don't know.
it's running. I don't know why girls like I feel like men have the best celebrations, and then girls are just like, we kind of don't know what to do. But I swear to you, every time I would score like a big goal, I would just like start sprinting. At one point I sprinted like from like the goal, like I just started sprinting and ran all the way, and the first person who could stop me was my own goalkeeper, like on the other half,
Wow.
because I was just so excited. And then like, yeah, like one time in high school, like I scored like a late goal, like it was a big goal, and I must have done it a few times. So I started sprinting, and one of my teammates just comes over and trips me so that they could like dogpile on top of me. So I think that I like kind of put my hands up and just like start running around, and like I waste so much energy, but like it's just, yeah, I don't, it's fun.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
Um, this is even more random, but music. Music is so big when it comes to the mindset, pregame music and stuff. What do you listen to?
Yeah. Ooh, that's good. Um, I like, ooh, so in my professional career, it was a lot of like Kendrick Lamar. before
Wow.
my games. Yeah. In college, it was a lot of like house music, like EDM and stuff, because there was more of
Okay,
like
yeah.
a, yeah, like especially because like I think like the men's team at JMU was like there was a lot more like foreign influence. So like the Europeans kind of like introduced us to like the house music, and we're like, yeah, this beat will work. Like this is getting me going. But yeah, if I choose it myself, it's definitely kind of like Kendrick. Like not something that's like yelling at me, but something that kind of like fast paced and like kind of gets me excited.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it gets the blood flowing. I feel you.
Yeah, for sure. For
Um,
sure.
and who would you say is your idol?
My idol. Um, it's all.
Hello?
Oh, am I
Yeah,
frozen?
sorry. For a second,
No,
it's all good.
this is my Wi-Fi. I'm so sorry. It comes in and out. But my
No,
idol.
you're good. It's definitely
Yeah.
yeah.
So on the men's side, it was always Ozil. So Mesut Ozil, if I'm saying that correct. I just loved him, center midfielder. Like I used to be a center midfielder, and I just love the way he plays, like calm, composed, like gets the job done. And then on the women's side, it's Carly Lloyd. I don't know. I just think she's totally like you could put a brick wall in front of her, and she won't care. So like she's just so inspiring in that sense of the word. But yeah, like Ozil or Iniesta, maybe for the men as well. Like I just love those players that just make it look so easy. Yeah,
Right. I hear that. And
yeah.
what motivates you?
Ooh, good one. I think I think just my passion because like there's so many things like I'm like there's I like someone could be like super passionate about, but when you find that, like you'll kind of do anything for it. So like that was soccer for me, and now it's kind of like my business, which is really cool. But I noticed that like if I'm not like in love with something, I don't really do it, which is good and bad. Like for me, like I've been wanting to learn Spanish for years now, but like I still cannot speak Spanish because like it's hard, and I just don't think I don't have a passion for the language, you know. So definitely for me, it's like passion and like feeling fulfilled when I work hard at something I'm passionate about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the last random question. Your favorite snack?
Oh, my favorite snack. It's potato chips. So I try not to eat them, but literally any form of potatoes, I am all about. So like literally anything. Like for my birthday, I'm just like, just make me potatoes of any variety, and I'll be so happy. Yeah, I'm the youngest of three, and my mom said she ate potatoes while pregnant with me for the first time out of any of her kids, and now I cannot stop. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, potato chips.
Okay. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
um, um, so to end, just some words of encouragement for athletes struggling with mindset challenges. And, we're going through tough times with COVID and a
Yeah.
lot of athletes not even knowing if they're going to have a season
Right.
in the fall or professionally or whatever it is.
Yeah. First of all, like my heart breaks for all of them because I know how important soccer is to a lot of kids. And um, but I think just like continue to try to hold on to that passion like every single day, like just try to do something that will keep your love for the game and will keep you kind of working towards that next step, so like you are ready when it comes back. Like even if it's just like 20 minutes of having like juggling, having the ball at your feet, just something that keeps like that fire alive. Then you'll just be like so much happier when it does come back, and you don't have to try to like go through the stress of getting your mindset back into it, you know. So just try to always keep going and just find something every day that keeps that fire going within you. But yeah, I do feel for every single athlete who can't be on the field right now. It's a hard time.
It is rough. It is
Yeah.
rough. And I'd just like to say that was pretty much it. Um, that was pretty much it. But I do want to say to you that it's a blessing. It's a blessing for me to even be able to speak to you. We've tried to reach out to so many people. We are a new group. And I mean, we started off like crazily, and it was like, I think 400 followers in 2 days.
Wow.
And then like, yeah, it just like, you know, it started growing, and it took a while for us to get to 700, but like, it's just so difficult. Like we keep trying to reach out to people and keep trying to reach out to people. And for someone like you, one that professionally plays and also has a business, like I'm sure it's super difficult to just answer anybody, you know? So it's a big blessing to me. And me and my other co-owners, we definitely appreciate it. Now I can even idolize you. I was watching your film the other day. We would definitely love to post that. But no, honestly, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And we aim to develop a very strong relationship with you. And even if we can help with promoting you or just in general, like I would love, like you were talking about your mentoring program, like how you want to expand your business, etc. Like I love stuff like that. I love doing random things that I don't know much about, you know. And I, as a college athlete, I struggle with my mindset. So like it'd be awesome to learn from you, you know. So I would definitely love that. So I will keep in touch with you, and God bless you. And I appreciate everything so much. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And I just want to say, like, it's so cool what you're doing. It's so incredible to hear that you're doing it before you even graduate. That is amazing, and something that like I hope more athletes can learn to do. So yeah, keep it up. And like, I know how hard it is to try to grow a following, but like what you're doing is amazing. And I know it's going to grow if you just stay consistent. So this is cool. And I'd love to keep in touch. Anything I can do for you, vice versa, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
appreciate it. And like I said, like you said, we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch definitely.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Jordan. Thank you.
Have a blessed one.
You too.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Bye.
Bye.